So when we started to look at where to start in terms of developing a positive mindset in our 50s, we talked about a Venn diagram with three overlapping circles, and within those three circles were our adaptability to change, our attitude to mortality, and our sense of purpose and meaning. And if we were to look at that first circle, our adaptability to change, and if we were to unpack that a little bit, we know obviously that change is a constant factor in life. You may well have heard and experienced the acronym VUCA, which stands for volatility, uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity. And all of these things being part and parcel of living in the modern world. You may well have experienced this through your career, where no doubt there were cycles of change or change to deal with, or you may have dealt with it within your personal life as well. So just to reflect on those stereotypes that we all know, change is constant, and there is no certainty but uncertainty. So these are the times that we live in, and these are particularly pertinent to being in our 50s. So if we are to be adaptable to change, what kind of changes might we be thinking about in our 50s? Well, of course, change can come from anywhere. It could be a change in our family circumstances, whether that's the children going from young to teenage, which always produces very, very interesting changes, or whether it's to do with marriage or partnership. It may be that you're getting married for the first time in your 50s. It may be that a marriage or a partnership is coming to an end in your 50s if the kids have left home and things feel different. There might be changes going on with your physical health. There might be things happening for you, or there might be things that were unforeseen in terms of your body, and things that are shifting and changing. Or it might well be that there's something to do with future changes that you're thinking about. Maybe you're anticipating some changes that might be coming. Maybe it's about, how do I change my lifestyle? How do I change my work? Maybe how do I reduce work or combine a lot more of my personal life with work and get back some kind of life balance? Or it may be to do with thinking ahead to retiring. What are those changes going to look like? So change is a really important aspect of this decade of our 50s, as well as being an important part of the world that we live in. So our personal adaptability to change, I think, becomes crucial in this decade. So my questions are, are you someone who evolves naturally? Are you someone who embraces change? Are you someone who you describe yourself as agile and fleet of foot, maybe? Or does it take you a while to respond to change? There are all kinds of models out there to do with change cycles within an organization, but also personally, how we experience change and the different changes, or the different stages of change that we go to or go through rather. Would you describe yourself as a flexible person? Are you someone who is happy with uncertainty? Are you someone who gets crushed by the idea of change? Or are you someone who feels uplifted by it? What would you say is your sense of adaptability? Because these things are really, really crucial because of the world we live in, but also because of the circumstances that we might find are impacting on us, whether by choice or not by choice. Change is a constant thing throughout this decade, and it's also an important thing to think about for the future. And signs that we are adaptable to change, or qualities that we can imagine about being adaptable to change, are perhaps questions like, are we curious? Do we have a curious mindset? Are we open to opportunities? Do we see opportunities where others might see failure, or others might see setbacks? Is this the kind of thing that we enjoy almost? Do we enjoy seeing change because it gives us that sense that something might be different and there's an opportunity for us to jump on that? Are you someone who thinks ahead? Are you someone who can see stuff coming down the track and think, do you know what, I need to kind of make some changes now in anticipation of those changes? Are you clear on what you stand for? Are you able to know and stick to what your values are when change is going on? Because that can give us a real sense of solidity if change is happening, if we know what our core values are and we can stick to them. Would you describe yourself as positive minded? Would you describe yourself as someone who embraces change? So these are all questions to think about in this first aspect of thinking about a positive mindset. How adaptable am I to change? Is this something that scares me, or is this something that I can embrace, or is it something that I would like to do more to embrace because I've experienced change and I've not dealt with it well? So thinking about adaptability to change is an important part of developing a mindset in your 50s. These are just some of the reflections and some of the questions to think about. You can go much deeper into all of these issues through some exercises, through some tests, but also through some models, and having a look at some theories around change development and dealing with change. I will put some of those resources, including some exercises and some tests that you can do around adaptability. I'll put those in the notes for this video. But I hope that's given you just a few thoughts and a few things to think about in terms of your own adaptability to change, because I think both because of the way the world is and because of the changes that we experience in our 50s, this is a real marker for us to reflect on and to think about as very much a first step in thinking about how to develop, maintain and keep a positive mindset throughout the decade of our 50s. So check out the resources below as usual. Love to hear from you about what you think and look forward to speaking to you soon.